reason I try to get pots that are at least 3-4 inches deep is because many of these things have big root systems. And there's even a deeper type of pot that's sold by a plant nursery here in Washington called Stewie. Have you heard of this?
Stubers? Stewies? I know Stubers. They're in Snohomish. Is that
They're the big greenhouse retailer.
Is it called Stewies? Stubers is the only one I know locally.
Okay.
That's where I get my stuff.
They have these long, deep pots. Have you seen these? Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call them D-pots, D-E-E-P-O-T-S. They're 7 inches deep and only 1.5 inches wide.
Not quite right? Too big?
Well, I believe you got them from
These are...
the same place. But the ones I'm talking about are even narrower than that.
Oh, you showed that, yeah, on
So, and I wasn't thinking I would have shipped a few of them out here. But this is what I like from my astragalus, because astragalus will form a 7-inch root within a matter of months, no problem. And they don't like to be pot bound at all. You also want a straight root. Yeah, she's writing her source on the board there. But there's another one that I buy from, also in Washington State, called something like, and I'm misspelling it here.
But ideally, you said they're 7 inches deep, and what was the width?
Right, I'm writing down here to send you the link to the
you.
place that I buy my D-pots from. I think I gave this in the references last weekend.
For the Hort
Yeah.
Research? Okay.
So that's the deep pot, the 7-inch deep by about 1.5 inches wide. Then you get really tall pots like this. So they sell a gallon pot that's 14 inches, 18 inches high, and it's only this big around. So I'm able to keep trees for several years in a pot like that, and the advantage to having a narrow pot is that you don't have so much soil. And if you've got a fairly useful potting medium, mine has charcoal in it now, the plants seem to be pretty happy. That reminds me, Jenny, can you tell us what you used for your potting mix?
Yes, I wrote it on the board, but I did 2 parts of hydrated coir, which is the coconut husk. And we have, if you have never seen it, I haven't broken open my latest delivery, but it's a compressed brick. It's more sustainable than peat. And then I added 1 part of compost, which we use booster blend, so it's 50% dairy manure and 50% vegetable compost. And then I added half of, my parts is a 5-gallon bucket, by the way, so it's half of a part of perlite, half a part vermiculite, and then 2 tablespoons per gallon of an organic fertilizer blend that I wrote on the board, which is alfalfa meal, 5 parts of that, 2 parts bone meal, half part lime or oyster shell, and half part kelp meal.
Peg Schaefer in her book also has her nursery mix recipe, which I think is worth the price of the book, actually. Most experienced nursery people have their own preferred potting mix, and you will too, undoubtedly.